homemade sausage rolls with homemade pastry that is so buttery. I'm gonna start by making my own pastry. I find the store-bought one just doesn't work for me. I'm gonna add 250 grams of all-purpose flour, which equal to about 1.5 cups. To my flour, I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to incorporate 1 cup of butter that is cold. I took this straight out of the fridge. We're just gonna break it into little cubes. As I'm putting my butter in here, I'm actually crushing the butter into the flour. It'll make it kind of flaky. I'm gonna keep moving the butter over and keep incorporating it into that flour. All of my butter is now in the flour. You see how it's just crumbly? That's what you want. To my butter and flour, I'm gonna add about a teaspoon or so of lemon juice. I really wish I had some mustard powder here because I would absolutely be adding it, but I don't have any. I have some really cold water though, and I'm not sure how much to use exactly. I'm just gonna pour a little bit in, mix it around. I'm gonna continue to add cold water until it becomes a nice dough ball. All right, I got the dough. Hopefully it stays together. I'm gonna wrap it in some saran wrap and place it into the fridge for at least 30 minutes. I am completely making this sausage roll recipe up on the spot, just using the stuff that I have. I'm thinking I'm gonna add some caramelized onions to it, so I'm gonna use 2. Now this step is obviously optional. You can add any filling that you want to your sausage rolls. You could just add grated onion. You don't have to saute them, I just am. I wish I had other veggies like carrots and celery, but I don't. I'm just using what I got. I'm gonna cook these down until they're nice and caramelized. It's gonna take a little while. I probably could have cooked the onions a little longer, but I wanna get this recipe over with. I'm hungry. So I'm gonna move them to the side and go grab the rest of the filling. To a bowl, I'm gonna add some of my pork. I'm gonna use hamburger here. I have some I need to use up, so let's do it. You could substitute for lamb, just use pork, just use hamburger, use whatever you want. For measurement's sake, I don't know, maybe 3 pounds. I'm gonna add my sauteed onions. Probably could have diced them up, but I'm gonna season it with this salt, pepper, and garlic from Kinder's. I got it at Costco. Again, I am just winging this. You guys can season yours any way you want. I'm adding some rosemary. Gonna add some sage. I'm gonna add some thyme. I feel like if I leave the nutmeg out, you guys are gonna come for me, so just a little bit. The best part about sausage roll filling is I feel like you can customize it to your liking. Like I wish I could have added some mushrooms in here, but my family's too picky. It's been chilling for about 45 minutes. It's ready to roll out. That butter has completely hardened, so this does take a little bit of work. Of course, you can skip this step by buying store-bought pastry sheets, but I prefer to make my own. My pastry is not perfectly shaped, but that's okay. My filling. I've spread it out. I'm going to flip. Now I have one perfect sausage roll log. I'm just gonna use a fork to crimp the edges together. Obviously, you can cut them to any size that you want. It's a sausage roll. Now I'm just gonna continue with the rest of my pastry until it's all gone. It looks like I have way too much filling for the pastry that I do, so it looks like I'm gonna have to make some more pastry. I did a terrible job at making them even, but they'll still work. I also have a ton of filling left, so I'm gonna redo this recipe for the pastry and make a ton more. Pierce the tops of them, make a couple of slits in them. I'm gonna add our sausage rolls to a cookie tray lined with some parchment paper. I'm brushing each of them with some egg wash. These are going into the oven at 375 degrees for around 20 minutes. So these actually baked for 25 minutes at 375 degrees. I could have probably put them on broil a little bit just to crisp up that top, but they look perfect to me. The homemade pastry like just crumbles. It's so buttery. I probably should have diced up those onions, but it's delicious.